How are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's the first time I've been interviewed in this room. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm normally sat there asking the questions to the person here, so.
If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would you choose them to be?
That's a good question. I would say energetic, empathetic, the last one's just got me all over the place. I hear this word a lot, but I would say visionary a lot with the ideas that I have.
Okay.
The guys in the office will sometimes, they count down the seconds for me to come in on a Monday because it'll be what's he read, what's he listened to, who's he spoken to over the weekend. He's going to come in with a new idea.
Yeah, what's the next big thing that we're going to have?
Correct.
Children were to describe you in 3 ways. What do you reckon they would have to say?
That's a fantastic question. I think the one thing they say is healthy, fun, and my youngest is really starting to start using words, and he's been taught this word, and so to kind of like tease me, they all say stinky, and it's one of his first words. He's 2 years old, so I'm sure his only word he would say if you asked him that.
So, as a dad, why are the futures of young people so important? Do you reckon that's had an influence on it, or is it something else?
I think I had a care about the future of young people before I had children. I knew, and I think my parents knew at a very young age, that being a father was something I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I'm one of 4 boys myself, and I spent a lot of my younger years looking after my little brothers.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my goals were always I wanted to be a dad. So I always had this care and love that I wanted to help people. Both of my parents have worked a huge amount in charity and helping communities. My mum was breastfeeding me 40 years ago when she watched a TV advert about the plight of young people in Africa, and she watched it and she cared so much that she was going, right, I need to make a difference.
Yeah.
How can I help? And she had 3 friends round who had some items that they wished to sell, and she invited her other friends over, and she said, right, we're going to take all the money from these items, I'll pay for the items, and then the profit from them we're going to give away to charity. And this was 40 years ago, and fast forward to today, she has an event locally down the road from here which has 200 stalls, 8,000 people over 4 days on a kind of football pitch size marquee. She raises 150,000 pounds for charity. So when you grow up in that house,
yeah,
with the kind of empathetic nature that I had, I always wanted to help out, and
it's influenced a lot.
Definitely.
I live by the sounds of things.
Definitely, and young people, because I was very lucky with the childhood I had. I had 2 parents that loved me. Who sacrificed everything for me, that put me through an education system that supported me. And I watched my friends who I grew up with, not everyone had that.
Yeah.
And it was part of that. And you start picking up on these things. And I had some sad things happen to me. I had 3 friends who committed suicide on my 21st, 22nd and 23rd birthdays, and it was an understanding then of not everyone has been supported as well as I had. I kind of did live in this kind of rose-tinted way of going, right, this is what family is. You have 2 parents that love you, you have an education system that supports you, and you have a support network around you. And I had that all the times, and all of a sudden I was like, that's not, and my world came crashing down, and it was a huge learning experience for me, and I started work for a young person's charity then, and then it's just really blossomed to when I could get to a point where I could help, which was the day when I really started getting involved here.
And that's amazing, because a lot of people in your position would be like, oh well, it doesn't directly affect me in my life, it's not my problem. And you said that, going back to the whole visionary comment, and everyone around here thinking that, so your top 3 priorities for Oxfordshire, if you could facilitate overall change for young people, like we're dreaming big, what would like the 3 things that you did be?
It's not even dreaming big. I will make these things happen. The first thing I'm very passionate about is setting up a kind of incubator within Banbury where young people can go, take their entrepreneurial ideas, test them, and be given the support to roll with those ideas, to run with them. You know, you set up a little community where basic administration is sorted, technology is looked after for them, there's an office space for them, there's a desk for them to utilize, and within that community you would have like-minded young people who are all sitting there and trying to start their own businesses. And then you would bring in local businesses, or not even local entrepreneurs full stop, that could come and support those young people with their ideas and blossoming and turning them into something, into real life. So that would be the kind of first point of call to do in Banbury. Second is utilising the high street. I don't think the high street is one of the, it's changing so much as everyone is shopping online at the moment. There's no need to have physical shops, or there's no need to have physical shops in the form that we're thinking they are now. So why not give them to young people to say, what is it that you want to do with this space? You know, what is it that we could do with this space? Is it a shop? If it is a shop, what is it that you would want your shop to be? You know, there is, from what I see when I walk around locally Banbury, there are enough young people around here who are walking around the streets that are there. What about asking what would keep them there for a little bit longer? You know, it's not my generation aren't going to shops anymore. We've learned that everything can come on a click online, a little bit, and we're not walking at all, which is what the high street's for. But there's young people who are walking the high streets regularly. What is it they want to see? Is it a space that they want? Is it, you know, set up a little bit of a community area for them? I don't know, but I'd love to kind of explore what that is
and speak to them.
Yeah, and then thirdly, it's something that we've already started doing, which is setting up a fund locally that will prioritise in supporting the community and young people together to fill the financial gap in any projects that everyone has been talking about for a long time. So let's say there's a community centre that's running I don't know, a leadership program like you were talking about earlier, but they ran out of funding because the council took away the money. There needs to be a pot somewhere that they can go to and say, listen, we could do with £2,500 that would run this leadership program for 15 young people. We're going to hold it in this community centre. Can you help out? Yes, we can. At the moment, you could probably go and beg a local business person and they would help you out. But what if there was a space where you could go to, a fund you could go to, where you knew that was already there to help out? So that's the third thing I would do.
That sounds amazing, and I think it's also really, really cool how you've got but you've thought it through. You've got the pragmatism to go with your big dreams, so it does work out, which is just, it's amazing.
It's taken a lot. I've had these ideas for years and years, so they're not just fresh ones. It wasn't a Monday morning in the office where I came in and threw the idea.
I thought last night.
They were, just listening over years, and these things came, and I was like, this is what I was going to do. As I said earlier, you've got to find the right time when to do it, because otherwise if you start something you can't finish it, the impact that might be able to have, where now I'm in a position where I can start something and and see it through, and that will genuinely, hopefully, help some young people.
What would you say the biggest challenges for young people in Banbury is at the moment?
I think there's a lack of opportunity for young people in Banbury. We talk about Oxford's and there being this big gap between financially between those at the top and those at the bottom. In Banbury, there isn't that. There is just the bottom, and it's really sad that there's two of the poorest areas in England are in Banbury, and they've just been left to kind of rot almost, and there is no opportunity. There's a lack of hope there completely, and I hope that what we will do with all of this is completely change that for them.
You are the complete right person to be a business guardian. But why would you say Cleenol is the right business to be a business guardian?
Cleenol is a family business, and with the paper trail we've got at the moment to show how far the actual family business goes is almost 200 years. And during that time, it's diversified over the years, and we've been Cleenol itself for 76 years. Through all of that time, the business has always had family values at the core of what we've done. And my grandfather and father, though, may not have gone to the extremes that I am going with investing in the community, did a huge amount for the people that worked here. The stories, we had 4 generations here at one point. We had members of staff whose wife had left them one morning, and they were left with 2 children to raise by themselves, and my father's turned around and been like, what do you need? Not my problem, it is a what do you need? And it was a change in hours, it was support financially, everything was done, and this person who was helped is still at the business and is still here. His children are now both working at the business. And it's stories like that you hear and you listen, and you just go, this business has always cared. Always cared. The benefits.
Kindness is going to take your business further than anything else.
Correct. We got B Corp accreditation 18 months ago, which a lot of people say is a really hard qualification to get. It took us about 2 years, which is faster than the majority of any other business that achieves it.
Well done.
Especially one that's in manufacturing. You have to go through every different thing. If you're just a service, it's a lot easier to do it. The reason it was so easy for us to do is, as a business, we were already investing in people, investing in community, investing in sustainability. So it just naturally came to us. Last year we raised £75,000 for our 75th birthday and donated that to 3 local charities. These are all things that were happening at the business before. And when I met your co-CEO, Emmy, it wasn't a meeting of she had to sell me something or I had to sell her something. It was 2 people that sat there and said, this is what we both want to achieve.
Why don't we work together?
Why don't we just work together? And it's been the easiest transition for us, and it's not we've sat there about documentation to support I trust you guys are doing exactly the right thing and have been doing the right thing, and I trust myself because I'm representing myself and Cleenol that we are 100% the right fit to help you achieve your goals.
I mean, it just sounds amazing, like nice connections being made just because we all want a better future for young people, or for everyone, to be honest, for communities just to come back together a little bit. If you could give any advice to your 15-year-old self that is relevant for 15-year-olds even in today's day and age, what would it be? Just unchanging advice that seems to be important.
I was asked this recently, so I actually have an answer to go straight to. I would say to my 15-year-old self, and any 15-year-old, I would say your friends are a reflection of the person you want to be.
Okay.
So when you sit there and you see that your friend is that party person and going out all of the time, then you are a reflection of the friend that you are with. If that person is someone who's out there helping the community, doing well at school, not doing well at school, helping, help getting involved in the school within leadership programs, putting themselves forward, then that is the person that is a reflection of you as well.
Yeah.
So it was very much, I would love to have gone back to myself and said, you know, those friends that you thought were going to be your friends at that specific time weren't necessarily the right people that were going to help and shape you to the person you are going to be today.
How could we wear laces that are two different colours?
Good question. My laces broke one day when I was tying them up before coming to work, and I asked my kids to go and get me laces from the drawer, and my eldest daughter and eldest son came back with one of each colour, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, fine, I'm gonna engage with this for a day. And during that day, everyone came up and started talking to me about it, and I was like, this is the best icebreaker that has ever happened. And again, you sit there and you go, the ideas of youth versus what we would do. I would never do that beforehand, right?
Yeah.
You'd sit there like, I do silly things. Yes, I get dressed up all the time for fancy dress and parties and everything. But when it was work, it was very much, I have to be presenting myself in a certain way. I'm running a business and everything. And all of a sudden, young people come in, they do something radical, completely different. And it has been the single best icebreaker of all time, and I've kept it. You've asked me the question today. It's made a fantastic one on here. I was asked yesterday at a networking event, non-stop throughout the whole time. I'm stopped, I'm asked, what is it, why is it, and it's done, and it served its purpose at that exact point every single time.
I mean, it's just proof of the power of listening to young people, to be honest.
Correct, it is, it is.
It really is. Amazing speaking to you. You're an incredible person, and I appreciate absolutely everything you're doing for the young people of Oxford. It's just, yeah, you should... Not a lot of business owners and CEOs are anything like you, so you should give yourself a pat on the back for that, because it's just... That's amazing, and I look forward to seeing where this all goes for Oxford Youth with all the things you want to do independently, and I hope one day that you've got like a statue and a plaque in Banbury somewhere.
Not why I do it, but I hope we make a real big difference, and I know you and the rest of Oxford Youth will be a huge part of this journey with us, which I appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing you more and your different laces.